And we're live. How you doing, Jeff? How you doing, everyone?
And everyone, yeah. I'm doing fine, but that doesn't matter. How's everybody else doing, I guess?
I had a call with a friend of mine this morning, and when he jumped on Zoom, I gave him the wave, and he goes, "That's the infamous Corin wave." And I realized I don't do the wave anymore. We do the clapping thing. So anyway, just thought I'd bring back the wave.
There you go. Somebody should do a mashup of how your intros have evolved over time. Yeah.
I like it. Awesome. So how are you, Jeff, this morning before we get started?
Yeah, doing good. It's been a busy morning so far, but yeah, good. And I understand that you've had a bit of an interesting morning yourself.
Yeah, lots of calls already. So yeah, it's 12 noon here in Austin. Few calls. One relevant to today. I'm still deciding on what I'm going to say about it. But hey, Mel, thanks for joining us. Good friend Mel Ginsberg is here. She lives just down the road from us. We love Mel. Okay, so what's Wednesdays, Jeff? What do we talk about on Wednesdays?
Yeah, so we've added this new segment. I think this is our third week on this now, if I'm not mistaken. But this is what buyers want Wednesdays. So this is interesting, depending on what category that you have your business in, because these are emails that have come in with buyer criteria over the last week. And so we'll share those every Wednesday. And yeah, it's just interesting to sort of see what investors are actually actively seeking on the market. And because selling your business, we've talked about who the buyers are, and we've talked about what boosts value in the business. We've talked about everything else, but what are they actually looking for? Like, what are their specific criteria that they like to see in businesses? So yeah, we'll go through, and these are actual emails that we've received from buyers. Obviously, we're not going to reveal who they are, but we'll certainly reveal what they're looking for. And that might sort of give you an idea. If you've got a business that sort of fits that criteria, put your hand up, get in touch. But yeah, hopefully people will get some value and find this as an interesting topic.
Yeah. So before we go into the actual criteria, I'll share, we filter the most interesting ones to talk about each week. Before I share that, I just want to talk about a common theme we have on the buy side that's just annoying me, and I want to get this off my chest. So there's we talk a lot about e-commerce portfolio buyers as a category, and how they're often not the ideal type of buyer that we go out and want to find, because they all value things very similar, etc. There's been some news recently about a couple of these groups. So people, I won't mention names, but people have probably seen this themselves. What we're seeing at the moment is a whole bunch of groups saying, that's a really good idea, I'm going to do that too. And it's similar to when people get started on Amazon, they look at what's selling, right? What has volume. Let's go find that product and go do that too. It's a race to the bottom, in my opinion. The buyer we were talking to this morning actually had a different opinion. He said, well, if there's so many people coming in using the same playbook, won't that improve multiples? And I don't think it will, because they're starting so freaking low. The general trend is really low offers, very buyer-friendly terms, and it's just frustrating, mate. I just don't know why someone would sell their business for some of these deal terms. It's frustrating to me. I wouldn't do it myself, and I don't want our clients to think that that's their only option. And more importantly, I don't want everyone else to think that's the only option out there. There's many, many buyers for a good business. So, yeah.
There you go. Get a sell-side advisor. have somebody in your corner that can help you translate and understand the deal terms, because yeah, so some of those predatory offers that have been coming out there are they're just awful. Yeah. They're so buyer friendly, it's not even funny, and it's leaving sellers thinking, well, maybe that's all my business is worth, or maybe this. But like you've often said, you can't compare one offer. you need to put yourself in a position where you've got multiple offers, and then you can decide for yourself which feels like the most comfortable path. And certainly a sell-side advisor broker can help you do that. So anyway, that's feel better.
That was a softer rant than I thought I'd go on there, but yeah, I think we'll just keep talking about this because it's very attractive on the investor side to do this type of stuff, but essentially I don't know why people are selling for some of these terms that we hear kicking around, and some of the offers we've seen recently have just been horrible. Like you said, just no.
Yeah,
why would we sell?
It's been bad, and I do understand that the attraction, if people are in some distress right now financially, and this is a way out, and but if you can hang on for a bit and you can get a proper value estimate for the business, I think, just understand that what they're offering you is not in your best interest, it's in their best interest. And if you don't have any other option and you don't want to know how much money you're potentially leaving on the table, then fine, because typically these deals close quickly, but they're going to close for a pretty low price, and the terms are not going to be in your favor. You're not going to get all the cash up front. It's going to be spelled out over a certain amount of time, and you need to decide for yourself what's comfortable. So get an idea, however you can, of actually what your business is worth on the market compared to live market data, so that when they come at you with an offer, where you can sort of counter and just arm yourself with information. So that's shameless.
Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to say, permit a shameless self-plug here. Get in touch with me, and we'll give you a proper value estimate based on live market data, so that you have all the information. If you choose to go that route, at least you know what your business should be valued at. So anyway,
absolutely. No, I totally agree. Totally agree. And know that if you're building a good business, there's better buyers out there. There's a lot of buyers. And that's why we're doing this segment, to show you what other types of buyers are out there, what they're actively asking for. So let's jump in and talk about some of these. So,
let's do that.
Here we go. Lead the way, Jeff.
Okay, sure. So the first one that we have on our list here, they are looking for somewhere in the 1 to 5 million in annual net profit, STE or EBITDA, looking for a 25 to 25% net margin, specifically in nutritional supplements and other consumer goods, and really just looking for a reasonable price. So
we've just ranted about price. What's a reasonable price, Jeff?
The highest one.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is reasonable? Yeah, who knows? But I mean, I guess maybe these guys are rookie buyers, and they're just saying, don't come at us with these ridiculous multiples. But
it's relative. It's all relative,
of course.
Right?
But
so if so last year we were taking a deal out into the toy space, and because it was appealing to strategic toy companies, large toy companies, we discovered that they value businesses completely different to just an e-commerce buyer. So this is relative to them. So a reasonable offer might be 10x to them, or it might be 1x. Or maybe they don't know what reasonable is, right? That's why I wanted to highlight this, because sometimes you can kind of jump to conclusions. Did you ever watch, what was that movie? Office Space, with the jump to conclusions, Matt.
To conclusions, Matt. That was awesome.
So you don't want to be playing jump to conclusions here.
It was filmed in Austin.
It was. Yeah. And for some reason, Leanne doesn't want to rewatch it, so I'm gonna have to watch it on my own at some point.
I'd rewatch that weekly.
Perfect.
So good.
Awesome. So other than that, nutritional supplements and other consumer goods. So they're wanting consumable products. Why would a buyer want consumable products, Jeff, do you think?
Well, I mean, for the obvious reason is that you've got repeat purchases. You know, if you can develop some kind of brand loyalty, obviously somebody consumes it and they need to buy it again on a somewhat frequent basis. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So consumable, it's the way investors look at this is cost of acquisition and lifetime value. So how much does it cost us to acquire a customer and how many times do they repeat order with us? So what's the average order value when they first order? And then how long do they stay with us so we don't have to buy that customer every time? So if you're selling a one-off item and it costs you $1 to sell that item, that's a fixed return. But if they could buy again and again and again, that's more attractive because the return on generating a new customer, acquiring a new customer is much higher. The more opportunity there is for repeat purchase. So yeah, a lot of supplement buyers like supplements for this reason that you physically consume the bottle of stuff and then you get another one. Shampoo, toothpaste, all that sort of stuff is kind of similar. You need to buy it again. And if you like it, chances are you'll just buy the same thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Got it.
Cool.
Cool. Moving on down, number 2 here, we've got annual net profit a little bit lower in the 500,000 to million range, looking for a higher net profit margin of 30% or higher. Yeah, consumer-facing brands with unique SKUs, high rankings, ideally Amazon choice within their subcategories. All right.
And also over 500,000 in annual sales as well.
Okay. I'm not seeing that on mine. You've got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, so they're looking for $500,000 to $1 million in annual net profit. Consumer-facing brands with unique SKUs, consumer-facing, so they're not wanting industrial or B2B type products. They want something that consumers are going to buy. And by saying consumer-facing, they're also probably wanting to reduce the distance between the brand and the buyer and the actual customer, rather. So things like Amazon are actually in between you and the customer. You don't get the customer data. So maybe in this case, they're looking for more direct contact. And unique SKUs, this is a common one that we see almost every time, is they want something unique, defensible, different. They don't want Me Too products. So yeah. And then over $500,000 in annual sales, so showing some traction, selling one or more SKUs. So they're okay with one, maybe. That's interesting. High rankings, and they want Amazon choice in the subcategories. So there you go. That's cool.
Ideally, but not a deal breaker, I guess. But again, we've pointed out this is their wish list, right? I mean, this is what they want. But yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Moving on down, here is another similar one in 500 to $1 million in annual revenue, in annual profit. They're looking at the profit margin at 30% or higher, and this time in kitchen and health food, and they're looking for FBA only.
That's interesting. So
yeah.
Kitchen and health food.
So this seems like they've already got something in that line, and perhaps they've already got some distribution channels on the retail end and looking to fill out the Amazon side of things.
Yeah.
Would I be right in thinking that?
Yeah, or maybe they live in Austin and just healthy people in general. I've been joking with people how the average person in Austin just seems to be a triathlete. So maybe they're just into healthy eating, and so they cook and they're thinking, well, I like this, so this is what I'd like to buy. Or like you said, maybe there is some leverage they're bringing to the table here, and they want FBA only, which tells me that if they do have leverage here, they don't have the infrastructure on the fulfillment side. They want Amazon to handle all of that. So they could have an audience, let's say, or a group where this is the interest of that group, but they don't have infrastructure for physical products. So they're wanting Amazon to handle all of that. Maybe that's what that that means there.
All right. Okay, so next one, we've got 300 to 500,000 in annual SDE, 20 to 25% profit margin, and these guys are looking for linens, towel sheets, tablecloths, napkins. They're looking for FBA private label with trademarks and reviews, sustainable factory relationships in India or China. Wow, that's very specific.
It's pretty specific, isn't it?
Yeah, that kind of tells you what kind of company this is that would be looking to acquire.
Yes. Yeah. We've actually, in the past, we had a factory out of China reach out to us, and I'm trying to remember if it was screwdrivers or hammers, but they literally wanted companies that sold screwdrivers, like branded products that sold screwdrivers. I was like, okay, that's pretty specific. But in this case, linens, so it's a little bit more wide. Maybe they have some, well, that doesn't even correlate. I was thinking maybe they have some manufacturing capability here, but then they want sustainable factory relationships. So again, maybe they have some audience around linen. I don't know who would be excited about linen, but maybe there's a niche out there. I don't know. Maybe they have an Amazon affiliate site that used to sell linen, and now their margins have been halved, and they're saying, okay, let's buy some branded linens so we can sell to our audience and pick up some margin. So
yeah. I was actually thinking that this could be like somebody that has kind of a furniture setup that they're looking to sort of add on to their like add-on purchases, to sort of cross-sell opportunities there.
Yeah. Maybe they sell beds or something like that, or home goods. That's a good point too.
Yeah.
And Leanne said something I couldn't quite hear what she said. What did you say? Yeah. Good point. So Leanne just mentioned, because she's smarter than me, that bedding is a massive category on Amazon. Some of the largest sellers we've found have been in the bedding category. So she's saying, this is aligned to bedding, you idiots. Of course they're wanting to. Yeah. So there you go. I've been told.
Of course, yeah, okay, but they're not actually looking for anybody that's massively successful in this. It seems, if they're looking for somebody with 300 to 500,000 in
exactly.
SDE.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Next one.
The next one.
Yeah, a little bit more general, a little bit lower value. They're looking for under 300,000 in annual net profit, but high profit margin of 30% or more. Sports and outdoors, and the only criteria here that I can see on my sheet is in business for at least 2 years.
Yeah. So that's pretty standard. There's nothing too exciting there. It's all self-explanatory, unfortunately. They want high margin products at least, but with 2 years of history. So, I mean, that's pretty much most of the businesses coming up for sale have been around for at least 2 years. But that's a pretty low barrier. And sports and outdoors is a big category. That's thousands of products. So they're really open there. But under 300,000, so they're looking for something small. I'd guess that the sports and outdoor is just a personal interest. Again, that they're just looking for something that they might be interested in, so that they could get excited about buying the business. But
so they're looking for something. Looking for something small, looking for something profitable, looking for something that aligns with that personal interest, maybe. And in business for 2 years, I suppose, could mean a couple of things. Either they're looking for SBA funding, do you think, or are they looking for, I mean, although they haven't specified US only here, but perhaps they're just looking for some basis for year-over-year comparison.
Yeah, definitely year-over-year, probably SBA as well. I mean, right now it's so hot to do a SBA deal because it's so interesting to do those right now. A lot of funding out there for that. So, but yeah, the 2 years as a minimum would be to see that year-over-year growth and get a sense of trends, how things are actually progressing.
Okay. Next one is another specific list of things that they're looking for. So under 300,000 in annual net profit, under 15% net margin, and first office supplies, stationery, party supplies, kitchen, home and garden storage, educational supplies, arts and crafts. And then if they can't find anything there, they're open to sports and fitness, health and beauty, gift wrap, bed, bath, and decor. And they might as well have just said everything. But
so yeah, let's talk about that before we get into the specifics, because that's just industry or category.
Yeah.
The good news is here they have a low threshold for profit. So they, with a low threshold for net profit, net margin, and wanting basically every category under the sun, I think they're going to be looking at a lot of deals.
I'm guessing that's their point. They would be looking at a lot of deals, except they want something that ships to one warehouse, preferably in Southern California, unlimited storage at Amazon, clean Amazon history, 3 years or older, trademarks, brand registry, interesting or unique, sourcing not in China, substantial traction in alternative marketplace like Etsy, and or a standalone e-commerce site, strong product catalog that can be expanded.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's
anything else we can get for you?
Right. I'm gonna enlarge this a little bit so everyone can see, because there's so much they're asking for here. Hopefully that's a little bit easier to see. Yeah. Okay.
So if you have a business exactly like this, please get in touch.
Yeah. Some of that's not even possible. Unlimited storage at Amazon, no one gets that for free, at least.
Which I suppose would be eating into would lead back to the profit margin.
True. Yeah, this is kind of bizarre.
A 3-year-old business in any category that's kind of underperforming, if you ask me. I mean, depending on the category, of course, but if you've got something that's 3 years or older that has been growing with a unique product sourced somewhere other than China, and you're doing under 300,000 a year in annual profit and under 15% margin, I mean, that might be tough to find. That will be tough to find.
Yeah, that's an understatement. So this is a Genie request. Here's what I want.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess I guess in essence, most of these are right. I mean, they're going to ask for what they want. And if it ticks a few of these boxes, we would certainly present them with a deal, because I mean, I would hope that they know that they're not going to get a business, or they're not going to get any deals presented to them unless they're saying, okay, well, like if it fits some of these boxes, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Is what we'd do here is we would probably present something that fits the bulk of those. And really with a wish list, you have a priority order, right? So if we had a deal for them and we were reaching out in, say, the office space, I tried to say home and office at once, in the office space, and we were trying to get feedback, we'd want to prioritize what that is and see why those things matter to them. Because just in a vacuum, you can ask for whatever you want, but when you're actually looking at a deal, what are the things that matter? Just one thing I've mentioned at the end here is kind of curious, because they're looking at low net margin, and then they're saying strong product catalog that can be expanded. This kind of makes me feel like maybe they're a retailer. So retail businesses typically run on really skinny margins because they're selling other people's products. And the way to win in retail is to have a wide range. So someone walks into your store and buys something. That's kind of how they roll. So maybe they're trying to translate that into an online world. Maybe their store is closed at the moment, or maybe they've got a background in retail. So 15% is a good margin to them. Whereas in this space, that's half of what a good margin would be. So kind of interesting though.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they, once they start being presented with deals, that they might realize like, okay, we need to relax some of this stuff. But it kind of seems like they're just listened to a couple of podcasts and sort of repeated what they heard and say, okay, I would like this. This is my wish list.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So if they're strong on that, they're not going to get many deals presented to them from any broker. But, cool. All right. Well, if you have a business under 300,000 in any category, but specifically ships to one or two. Anyway, don't need to repeat all that. But anyway, okay, cool. So moving on.
All of that.
Yeah, exactly. So in this last one here that we'll mention, under 300,000 in SDE again, 20 to 25%, so a little bit below average on the profit margin. They're open to all categories, and they are looking for kind of an overwhelmed seller that wants out. Interesting that they said overwhelmed and not necessarily distressed, but sometimes, like you say, people sort of outpace themselves, and sort of the business reaches a point where, in order to grow, is going to take some investment that they either aren't comfortable with, or don't have, or it's just sort of exceeded their expertise in some way. So yeah, overwhelmed.
That tells me
that might be a nice way of saying distressed, but we'll see.
Yeah. They're looking for a deal, basically. They're looking, and what they're trying to find is a couple of reasons for this. One, they probably have leverage as far as experience in Amazon, so they feel very comfortable with turnaround type situations, comfortable with the business model. They want something profitable, but someone that's overwhelmed. So maybe they're thinking someone that's growing super fast and kind of can't keep up with inventory, or they kind of got into this space as a side thing and now it's becoming a real business and they just don't know what to do with it. But predominantly with that phrase, overwhelmed, they're trying to find deals that other people are overlooking. Like it's one investor actually said, I like deals with hair on them. Give me a deal with hair on it. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But what does that mean to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Hair on a deal to one person might be.
Let me guess, he wants to pay a reasonable price too.
Yes. Hair on the deal,
whatever that means. Reasonable, yes. If you got something like that, make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool. Well, that's this week. Do you have anything else to add on that one? That was kind of just a light one to end on. I'll pull it back up here.
Yeah, light one, but still, fairly open. But yeah, I mean, overwhelmed could mean lots of things. I mean, I talk to sellers who have a full-time job too, and like you said, their FBA business is sort of taken off, and they've got to the point where they're like, I don't want to quit my job, but this is, I can't, this is just too big, and just kind of want to make an exit and make it somebody else's thing that is their job, or that is their sort of profession or whatever to run it. Because whether they're like a teacher or a lawyer or whatever, that they just kind of have their job sort of carved out, and this just got too big for them to really focus the hours that it requires. So not necessarily distressed, but overwhelmed in some way. I like how he said that. I'm going to start using that term instead of.
Well, we can ask people, are you feeling overwhelmed with the company? Because we have a buyer for that.
Yeah. Let's just make that question one. How overwhelmed on a scale of 1 to 10 are you right now?
Yeah, exactly. I like it.
Because I've got somebody that's looking for hairy deals for a reasonable price.
Yes. And overwhelmed. What if they want all three?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's what Buyers Want Wednesday. That was fun.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'll be back with a new list next week. So we'll do that every Wednesday. We'll go through the emails, some emails, not all, because man, there's tons of them. But we'll pick out a few interesting ones that sort of cover some different areas of what buyers are looking for every Wednesday. So tune in for that.
Absolutely. And if people are thinking, hey, I've got anything business 15% margin in store forever on Amazon.
Right. Sure. Yes. If you have exactly that, otherwise don't comment. No. Absolutely. If you're looking to sell the business, now, in the future, looking to sort of figure out, based on the current market, where your business would sit, any of the above, sales at the FBAbroker.com comes to my inbox, and we'll arrange a time to chat and see what's up and how we can help.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. We've actually got some great feedback on these What Buyers Want Wednesdays. So seems like we're onto something with what we're doing here. So hopefully you're finding these interesting. Definitely ask if you have any questions on this thread or in the group as well. W Your Exit community just hit over 100 members. That was a bit exciting.
Milestone achieved. Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Good.
So
welcome
that's pretty cool. Absolutely. So ask any questions in there. Jeff and I are in there. The whole team's in there actually. So if we if any questions, just let us know. But there you go. That's it for What Buyers Want Wednesday. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks, Jeff.
That's a wrap. Yep. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.
Later.